viewers, welcome to the Editorial Analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. In this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus, then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from the Hindustan Times, published on 7th of December 2020. The title of today's editorial is A Boost for Defense Ties in West Asia. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with GS Paper 2, which has sections that include polity, constitution, governance, and primarily the sections that include international relations. Some key points from today's editorial. Indian Army Chief General M.M. Narawane groundbreaking visit to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates offers significant possibilities for elevating defense ties with two key West Asian powers at a time when that region is witnessing rapid changes in its political and security scenario. Now viewers, we all know that Indian Army Chief General M.M. Narawane is visiting to Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, and the situation in which the chief is visiting to these important countries is quite significant, because right now the West Asian region and the Middle East region of the world is witnessing many rapid changes both in political as well as security perspectives. West Asia watchers cannot recall another visit to Riyadh by such a senior Indian military official. Now, it is very difficult for the analysts of West Asian region to recall any such visit to Riyadh by a senior military official from India. It is for the first time that a senior Indian military official is paying a visit to Saudi Arabia. General Narawane is set to hold talks with the military and civilian leadership of both the countries. Now, during his visit, General Narawane will be meeting both the military as well as the civilian leadership of both the countries, that is Saudi Arabia as well as United Arab Emirates. Now, this is Army Chief's third consecutive foreign visit with diplomatic overtones, following his trips to Myanmar and Nepal, the second of which helped smooth over rancor caused by a border row. Now, we all know that it is the third consecutive meeting that Army Chief will be doing with foreign countries. Initially, in the month of October, he visited Myanmar, followed by that in the month of November, he visited Nepal. And after his Nepal visit, we actually saw that there was a positive outcome of the meeting, because between both India and Nepal, there was some controversy regarding the border issue was quite sorted. We can say that the controversy as of now, if not completely solved out, but yes, initially the kind of tones that was being used from both the sides, the meeting by our Army General has definitely helped that entire matter quite sort down, or you can say quite settle down. Now viewers, before we move ahead, it is quite important to see that how both UAE and Saudi Arabia are important for us and why India has to maintain very good relation with these two countries. Now, if we speak about India and UAE, okay, very important, India and the UAE, the relation between both these countries, like these two countries, they have been enjoying very strong bond of friendships based on age-old cultural, religious, and economic ties between the two nations. Also, Prime Minister Modi has visited United Arab Emirates, and you can say that such meetings has actually signifies India's growing engagement in the Gulf countries. Now, if we talk about the bilateral relations between India and UAE, Around 2.8 million Indians are living in UAE right now. As India seeks to enhance economic engagement and deepen security cooperation with the Gulf, it finds a very willing partner in the form of United Arab Emirates. As UAE look east to find partners for its economic growth and with security concerns emanating from turmoil in West Asia and growing threat from terrorism, it finds a natural partner in India. See, it is very important for UAE to have very good relations with India. Okay. Also, UAE has a special place due to its business friendly atmosphere, willingness to invest in the Indian economy, and its important role in maintaining peace and stability in the region. We cannot ignore the importance what UAE has in the Gulf region, or you can say in the Middle East region. Also, if we speak about the economic relations, trade and commerce forms the backbone of the bilateral relation between both the countries. Investment from United Arab Emirates to India exceeds $11 billion, about 4.4 to $5 billion in the format of FDI. United Arab Emirates has been one of India's leading sources of FDIs. We have to always remember, one of the leading sources of foreign direct investment. UAE is also India's third largest trade partner after China and the United States. And the UAE accounts for 8% of India's oil import, and it was fifth largest supplier of crude oil to India in the year 2015-2016. Now, as far as the security and the defense cooperation is concerned, we have to understand that both India and UAE, they are strengthening their bond, and they are actually growing cooperation in security as well as defense sector. Now, with the spread of radicalism in Gulf and South Asia, India looks to enhance security cooperation with United Arab Emirates to counter terrorist threats and combat radicalization. Second, Desert Eagle, a 10-day air combat exercise which was held in May-June 2016 between the air forces of India and United Arab Emirates. So, definitely, if we look forward, there is a tremendous amount of opportunity for both the countries to strengthen their ties and to help each other grow in their respective regions. Now, this was the case with relation to India and UAE. Now, similarly, if we speak about India and Saudi Arabia, the relations are quite fruitful for both the countries here. Okay. Now, if we speak about why Saudi Arabia is important for India, number one, Saudi Arabia is an important and reliable source of India's energy requirements. India imports around 18% of its crude oil from Saudi Arabia, making it the second largest source for crude oil, okay, in the country. It is also now India's fourth largest trading partner, with a bilateral trade at around 27.48 billion USD in the year 2017-2018. Okay, Saudi Arabia investment of around $100 billion is the pipeline in the areas ranging from energy, refining, petrochemicals, infrastructure, agriculture, minerals, and mining. This is very important. Okay, Saudi Arabia's investment of around 100 billion US dollars. This is quite huge. Also, one of the Saudi Arabian company whose name is Aramco, Aramco, Aramco. Okay, Aramco. Now, Aramco is participating in a major refinery and petrochemical project on India's west coast. Also, defense, security, trade, culture, education, people-to-people contact are the important areas of bilateral cooperation with Saudi Arabia. Okay, so this is quite important for us. And what exactly, if we look, this was with reference to why Saudi Arabia is important for us. Similarly, if we ask Saudi Arabia that why India is important, so there are several reasons. Number one, pragmatism is dictating Saudi posture as the very future of the kingdom's economic model is at stake. Number two, economic reform programs are underway in Saudi Arabia, for which it needs India's economy as well as technical, or you can say technological assistance. Saudi Arabia appears to have limited experience in countering threats from groups like Houthi militia, etc. Okay, and we have to see that terrorism, or you can say counter-terrorism, is an area where India's expertise in fighting such threat could be imparted to the Saudi side by enhancing joint military training exercises. So, see, both the countries have their own benefits, as well as India has also got its own benefit from both the countries. So, it is quite important that both the countries should maintain their bilateral ties with India so that each and every one is getting benefited from this relationship. Now, if we talk about the present scenario, India has good reason for describing West Asia as part of its extended neighborhood. The region is home to 9 million Indians, or say 30% of the total expatriate workforce, whose annual remittances amount to about $48 billion. See, the region, okay, it can be said as our extended neighborhood. This particular region of West Asia, okay, or you can say the Middle East, can be said as India's extended neighborhood. Why? Because it is home to around 90 lakh Indians, or you can say around 30% of the total workforce from outside. This workforce actually contributes to an annual remittances that add up to 48 billion US dollars. This alone is a good reason to bolster security ties with a country such as Saudi Arabia, home to around 3 million Indians and one of the top two energy sources for India. I have already told you this. It is significant. The visit is taking place in the wake of the UAE normalizing ties with Israel and reports of back channel contacts between Riyadh and Tel Aviv. And there are indications India will benefit from its proximity to both the Arab states as well as Israel. See, India maintains a very decent, very friendly relationship with both Middle East as well as Israel. So, if India has to choose sides between either of these two countries, it will be very difficult and definitely it will be of great loss to India. So, when a situation where UAE is trying to normalize its ties with Israel, also there are several news that Riyadh is actually trying to contact Tel Aviv, or both the countries are trying to settle down their relations. So this is definitely a great news for India, because India has proximity with both the countries, Israel as well as the Middle Eastern countries, and in such a situation when all the countries have a friendly ties, India can extract the maximum benefit out of this. The future ahead. Security ties between West Asian states and India have hitherto largely focused on intelligence sharing and counter-terrorism, and General Narawane visit could lead to greater military exchanges, including joint exercises, defense cooperation, with a region that occupies a significant space in India's national security interest. See, when General Narawane is visiting these two countries, definitely we are quite sure that there will be a tremendous military exchange between both the countries. There is a situation that India can definitely share all its interests, such as if we focus upon intelligence sharing or counter-terrorism operations. So definitely India has got a greater experience in all these domains. And with India's experience, definitely all these countries can get benefited. So chances are quite high that after General Narwane's visit, the positive outcome could be of a new joint exercise between India, UAE, or India, Saudi Arabia. Also, there will be a defense cooperation. Maybe there could be any arms agreement as well. We don't know as of yet, but yes, we can definitely hope of all such things that might happen in the future. So let's hope for the best and see what positive comes out of this visit by General Narawane. So viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. A question that can be framed with reference to today's editorial is: what are India's interests in the Middle East? How have India's relation taken shape with the Islamic world in the recent past? Discuss. So viewers, this was with the editorial analysis. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much.